I don't know. Are you following the Brook Wells? What happened to her? Like, do you know that she qualified and then
Mhm.
didn't qualify? She got some penalties.
Yeah, penalties on burpees and muscle ups. Looks like.
Would you, if you were in her position, like her tenure, her age, how would you handle that? Like, how do you think, like, is she going to show up at Syndicate, or could she show up at this TFX, or do you think she's done? Like, how is she managing that? You think she's upset? Like, how do you have any insights on what would be going on with her mentally?
Yeah, I think she's probably pissed.
At who,
Yeah,
at herself or her judge or at CrossFit? How do you think she processes that?
I think she should probably be mad more at herself because they were. I mean, it was obvious that the rules weren't followed and the standards weren't met. And like as an athlete, you really just like you can't tell yourself like, oh, my coach will tell me if it's bad or the judge will tell me if it's bad for online comp. You need to make sure that all your shit is in order and you read the rules as well. I think that's part of being a professional and doing your best to follow the movement standards. Like there's sometimes you're like maybe you miss depth and you didn't know or whatever, but um, there's things where whether or not you're hitting standard or whether or not you're riding the line. And I think people who do ride the line a lot should be penalized because I don't want this to be a sport of like who rode the line enough, who cheated the right amount. Like if we both agree we're gonna run a 1600-meter loop and race, and you get partway there and you find a shortcut to take 100 meters off, where you're like, hey, no one's gonna penalize me if I do it. Like I don't understand how people can have that mindset. Like I want to beat you because I didn't hit depth. I want to beat you because I didn't lock out or whatever. Like it's the same mindset as someone who's like, because you hear a lot like, I just need to do what my judges tell me. I just need to, as long as I'm not getting no rep, then it's fine. But that's the same mindset of saying, hey, I don't need to actually not take PEDs. I just need to pass a drug test. Like that's a parallel line of thinking. I think if you're an athlete, you need to take the responsibility on yourself to make sure that all your reps are good and that your camera's in the right spot. Um, you see year after year, people, their seasons get ended from not following the standards.
What about? I want to bring up two things. One, there's this video that kind of sticks in my head that shares the same sentiment that you just shared. It's Chuck Carswell. It's probably, I don't know, 15 years old, and he's talking. He's at a level 1 talking, and he basically says, "Hey, if you're not sure, if you're judging someone's rep and you're not sure, it's a no rep." Or maybe it was a games video, but like, and whether that's true or not, I think that's what you're saying. Like, if you're a CrossFit Games athlete, that's the mindset you need to have, and that's how you also want to be judged. You want everyone to be judged equally. If the ref's not sure, it's a no rep. The judge isn't sure. You want it to be clean.
Yeah, the only way to make the judging like the most fair they can be is if everybody is very strict and make sure that the reps are obvious. Because if you allow leniency, then every judge has a different level of leniency.
You know, in tennis, even at the really high levels, until you get pro, in tennis, even at the highest levels, uh, there's no judge, there's no referee, there's no line judge. And so the way the rules work is if you're not sure, you always give the benefit to your opponent. So if they hit it and it's out, but you wouldn't bet your life on it, you play it. You can't call it out. You can't be like, I think it was out. I'm 99%. If you're 99% it's out, it's still in. You know what I mean? You have to be 100%, or you always give the benefit of the doubt to the person. Okay, so let's talk about the implications of the, or just how someone like Brooke processes this, or how you would process it. And this isn't to dig at her. I think this is all of humanity. The first thing she's going to want to do is like did you see the hip and steel video with Hiller?
I watched like the first 10 minutes of it so far.
Basically, it shows that the phases he went through when he was criticized. First, he blamed this person, then he blamed this person, and then after a year, he finally looked at himself and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I was thinking probably the same thing happened to you at the Big W. Like you go there and like all these excuses pile up. Well, I had to drive. Well, the programming wasn't good for me. And then finally on the drive home, finally like at some point later, you're like, "Hey, none of those evaluations are going to make me better. They're irrelevant because they're out of my control," right? Do you think there's a process like that every time, like something doesn't go your way? Like you said got ninth and that wasn't good. Like, how did you process that versus like, do you think Brooke's going through the same thing from blame to like, oh shit, personal responsibility?
Yeah, I mean, like for example, like on the rope climb workout, I feel like that was mostly a test of cycle rate on a rope climb.
This is what workout number was that? Do you remember?
I think it was number 5
Okay.
at the WFP.
Okay.
And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, that's the same thing as saying like, hey, do 30 strict handstand push-ups for time. Like everybody can do it unbroken, everybody goes as fast as they can, but some people who are shorter are going to do it faster. You're doing a rope climb as fast as you can. Like for that event for the men's field, nobody really got to the point where they're like, oh, my pulling is just really tired and I can't go get up the rope right away. It was more just how fast can you get up the rope. So that it's kind of annoying, and like because like obviously I'm the shortest guy there, so it takes me longer to get up the rope. And when there's a more dense set of rope climbs, legless or regular, I close that gap with the field a lot because it's enough to make the taller guys tired, even if the reps are faster for them. But like at the end of the day, that's going to keep getting programmed. It's been programmed many times in that kind of a fashion. It's going to keep showing up. So I just need to figure out how I can get like just ridiculously fast at a rope climb while being a 5'4". That's going to be up for me and Joey to figure it out and to execute on, rather than like bitching about it or complaining to myself, because like it doesn't matter even if I'm right, even if I'm not being biased and that's completely right, it doesn't matter because it keeps getting programmed and I'm going to keep losing points on the leaderboard for it. So like the best route to take is just try and be completely objective and try and find, you need to like make it your goal to try and find a way that the blame is on you or something that you can do to fix. Because like the honest truth, if you just boil it down, if there's nothing in your control that you did and you still lost, then you're kind of fucked. Like it's up, your success is up to somebody else at that point. So if you can find a way to put the blame on yourself and see like, okay, I can fix this, or that, then you still have a chance. You can get better.
Do you think what do you think she does? Do you have any insights or thoughts on what she does? Do you think that um I mean I'm guessing she wants to go to the games. Um
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell what Brooke is thinking. Um, I don't think I've ever really talked to Brooke. Talked to Sydney quite a bit at Proven, but like
what
I
would
think
you do? What would you do? Would you if let's say you found out that we go back and something was wrong at Mayhem and you found out you didn't qualify.
you
Would you what would you do?
gotta find a way to put the blame on yourself.
But would you still
It's
try
like,
to go to the games or would you be like, fuck
oh
it, I'm out?
yeah, yeah, I would have tried to go to um, online semis, then TFX, and then NorCal. Like I had
Why
4
not just go to
competitions
the French
lined up.
Throwdown and beat up on those weirdos, those European weirdos?
What do I get out of that?
I don't know, an easy qualification spot.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had four competitions lined up if I had to go to all of them to get to the games.
Which
Um,
ones? Which ones? You had Mayhem, you had NorCal, you had
in
the
affiliate and TFX.
wow, shit. That's awesome.
But I don't know. I don't know, like, because there's some athletes I know are like, hey, I'm gonna do online semis or I'm doing one semifinal. And if I make it, cool. If I don't, whatever. I'm gonna go focus on WFP. So I don't know, like, what Brooke's goals are, or if she's like really trying to get to the games, or if it's kind of like, hey, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I'll do WFP.
Hiller shared something interesting with me the other day too. He's like, "Hey, even if you go to the WFP, even if you win money there, even if everything goes good, you qualify. He still thinks it's a bad idea to put all your marbles in because your legacy you can't grow a legacy there because you don't know. And by legacy, I mean a way to parlay that into selling more dogs, more programming, more beef jerky, whatever you doing to obviously to sustain your fitness." Because it doesn't carry the clout that the games has, and you don't know, if how long that thing is gonna be around. So the games has 20 years of, like, clout behind it, and so, you can leverage that attention, like Dana White said, "This isn't a career, this is an opportunity." Do you feel any of that also? That, like, even if the prize money is a shitload at Rogue, you need to go get that prize money, but you still have to go to the games.
Yeah, I mean, like just the from my perspective, the objective, honest truth about the WFP, like they ran a good event. Um, the warm up area was good. It seemed like in-person spectating was good experience for them. And the athletes, I don't think, have a lot of complaints. You got to be kind of nitpicky to find real complaints, like about lights turning off early or this or that.
Yeah.
Like they ran a good event, but the thing is, like, where is this in 5 years?
Okay,
think
so that's as best as they can do. It's a good event, great warm up area, great crowd, and now it's just time. That's out of their control. I mean, now it's just time, right? Now it's like we'll wait and see. But you think that
they
they're
gotta
off
figure
to a
out a
good
way
foot?
to,
They're off to a good start.
as far as an athlete experience. But the thing is, like, athletes, that athlete experience doesn't matter as much as you can't. Like, they need to find a way to make it sustainable financially, and I don't know what that looks like for them. I know a lot of other competitions have had a hard time. It seems like the only model that works is either you are crowning the fittest on earth and people show up to the CrossFit Games and they buy tickets there and people are willing to sponsor that, or you're a big community event like Waterpalooza, where you have 3,000-4,000 people who are competing in the community division who are also sitting in the stands